Ladies and gentlemen, welcome and well met, you guys. Hearthstone, we are finally here. This is the Hearthstone Alley tournament that is live in sunny Singapore, man. My name is Larc, and I'll be your main caster today. And with me is none other than SethBear, my co-caster. How are you doing, man?
Doing great, man. It's an exciting day for Hearthstone, baby.
Yeah, but I mean, like, we have a lot of matches to be covered here today. I mean, it's gonna be a lot of work for us, but I mean, this is gonna be so much fun. We have a lot to cover today. We've got the group stages ahead of us, and then eventually into the winners bracket. And of course, maybe we might cover one or two loser bracket matches, but that remains to be unseen, just depending on how the day progresses. So, guys, I really hope that you are gonna enjoy this stream that we're gonna be bringing to you guys, because we have a lot of players here. I think we have about 20 participants that are taking part in this tournament here, and there's a decent prize pool for a lot of these players, and I'm sure they want to get that early recognition, seeing as to how Hearthstone is still in that kind of like closed beta stage.
Yeah, closed beta.
I mean, I don't know, like, how do you feel? Like, I mean, just being here, I mean, it's pretty cool. I mean,
yes,
Singapore has been treating us really well, and I'm super excited. I mean, this is kind of like our debut as well to start streaming this Hearthstone tournament. So hopefully we can start bringing more to you guys. And I know it might be a little bit crazy here because there's a lot of other events that's happening at the same time. We have things like Dota 2, Battlefield 4. This is the GE3 event, and this is being held right now at D Marquee in downtown Nice. So guys, it seems we're ready in this game, and we're gonna get right into this. Let's jump into it right now. So, ladies and gentlemen, we are here. The first match of the day, of course, is going to be group stage number A, and letter A, sorry. We have Crazerk that's going to be going up against Attoken, and right off the bat, let's take a look at the starting hand of Crazerk. He actually just mulliganed all his cards, but let's take a look at Attoken there. He actually decides to stay with his Novice Engineer, the Keeper of the Grove, and the Harvest Golem. What do you think about both these starting hands?
There is a very strong starting hand, being if there's an early game hard draw, there's a Wild Pyromancer, and there's a Harvest Golem to sustain the board, following by Crazerk's hand. Not a lot of early game, but if you can have a minion out, there's a lot of buff coming his way.
Yep, and as you can see right off the bat already at the 2 mana cost turn, we do see the Novice Engineer coming out there for Attoken just to get a little bit of extra card draw. And now, just looking over at the side of Crazerk, he's actually going to go ahead and throw out that Blood Imp. I guess he's not afraid of any board turn, as it does have stealth. So, what do you think about this play so far?
That's the only early game that you can play so far, and that's the safest play. So I would agree, definitely.
Alright, and out comes another, the Novice Engineer again, getting a little bit more card draw over on the side of Attoken. I guess he just wants to make sure he gets those early drops. He is ramping up to that 4th mana, sorry. I'm surprised, what do you think? Do you think he should have actually just played the Harvest Golem in that previous turn?
Harvest Golem would be a better play, since that it will sustain the board. As you can see here, Harvest Golem would have killed that Blood Imp right off the bat, well, you basically have to use one of the 2 only silencers that you will always run in the deck to basically kill the Flame Imp.
Right, yeah, I mean, that Flame Imp is going to do a lot of work here for Crazerk. I mean, he actually used it a little bit earlier. And out we see the Starball actually going to trade. So dealing 2 damage towards that Flame Imp, and then eventually trading it with the Novice Engineer and hitting face with that the other Novice Engineer in his hand. Yep. What are we going to see Crazerk here do? He has a lot of options. Seems like he's going to go for the Fairy Dragon. He still has the coin available, but he doesn't really need it right now. What do you think about that play over there?
He should definitely coin for a Shatterstar Cleric to buff up the dragon. So if he dies, it will at least take down 2 of the creatures on board.
Yeah, actually, that's a pretty good play indeed. Yeah, I mean, it seems like he's thinking about it. The coin is there. Out comes the Shattered Sun. He's in fact going to buff the Fairy Dragon here, so going to get a little bit more HP. Of course, the Blood Imp is just going to be so good in this game. Look at that. That's a tree Shattered Sun. Pre-nerf.
Yep.
So it's kind of interesting to see that again. I don't think he's used his hero power just yet. So just coming back over here on the side of Attoken, he does have the 2/4 on the board. It seems like now he's going to go ahead and throw out the Harvest Golem. He can, by all means, always throw out the Wild Pyromancer or even the Blood Mage Telenos if he wants to, but we're just going to have to see. He's actually going to hero power here. Gonna go ahead and trade with the Shattered Sun, and in fact, gonna hit it for face. He takes 3 damage actually over there, and uses the Novice Engineer to hit face over there. Do you think that was the best play for him?
He could actually go for an Innervate into an Ancient of Lore and get more card draw from it with a huge board presence early game. using the innovate.
Yeah, I guess that could have been another option. Here we go. Actually, the Mortal Coil coming from Crazerk. Just going to quickly take out that Keeper of the Guard. He actually top decked another Blood Imp and a Shadow Ball on top of that. He, by all means, can actually use that Shadow Ball to probably kill the Harvest Golem, but
yes, definitely.
Should that be the play right here?
That would definitely be one of the best plays here. He could also just ignore it since he has the higher board damage here, and the opponent will have to trade with it to sustain his own life.
Right, I mean exactly, like he can always just hit phase and force the enemy player. In fact, he's just going to throw out the taunt. Defender of Argus comes on the board and man, this guy, it just takes so long to reach Norman. What is wrong with him? As he lost his bearings, he's just going to buff that up. That's a 5/5 Fairy Dragon with magic immunity. Now that is actually a very, very scary creature on the board, man.
And there's actually nothing that Attoken can do at this point except for going through Ancient of Lore, I guess, to get the heavy board presence to clear off the Fairy Dragon next turn.
Well, he actually did top deck Ragnaros. You think innervated Ragnaros would be a pretty good idea, or that's just completely not viable at all?
Well, Ragnarok does redeem his value if the RNGesus pulls through and hits the Fairy Dragon.
Yeah, I mean, there's always the luck factor in this game. I mean, if he does get that huge Fire Blast onto the 5/5, I mean, by all means, his Ragnaros is still going to be alive, of course, unless there is, something like a double Soul Fire. But I think looking at the deck coming out from Crazerk and his Warlock, in fact, he does have double Soul Fires in his deck. Take a look at this play. Innervate looks like it's going to be played right here by Attoken. It seems like he's just taking a little bit of a while to decide what he wants to do. He's actually going to go for the RNGesus here.
There we go, man.
Enter, or is he going to go for face? It seems like he might can actually trade. He can actually trade, but that is stealth creature, so...
There we go, RNGesus, baby!
Oh, it does hit the face, so that's 8 damage to the face there. I mean, Ragnaros by all means is probably going to be traded here, but he needs to get rid of 2 minions, unless of course he has something. He does have a Shadow Ball in his hand, so that's going to be 4 damage. And by all means, he also has the Dark Eye in the War. What is he going to do here? It looks like he's going to go for the Shadow Ball onto Ragnaros.
He's going to Shadow Ball, Shadow Sun Cleric, the Argus Defender, and trade. That will be the best play here.
Definitely, and like you call it, man. Out comes the 4/5, gonna trade it. He is of course gonna trade off that Defender of Argus. Gonna hit face for 5, and that's still a taunt, and it's getting very, very scary, man.
Yes.
I mean, he's only left with 2 creatures on the board, and by all means, he doesn't really give a damn about the Harvest Golem because it's just a 2/3. He's way ahead right now.
That top deck, bro.
Oh, but that top deck Faceless Manipulator, guys. Out comes another Fairy Dragon at Saunton. Of course, it's not 5/5 because he doesn't have the Blood Imp. What is he going to do here? What do you think is the best play? Do you think he should just go for the taunt? I mean, he keeps trying to get the stealth creature, but he knows he can't do that. They're actually going to end the turn, and the top deck there,
oh my God,
Archie Commander, so
another
that's...
top deck.
Yeah, that's probably going to hurt Attoken a lot here.
Reap Fairy Dragon.
There we go. R.I.P. in peace, bro. See you later. And I think, there we go. We have like about 8 damage on the board. Is he even going to trade? No, it doesn't matter. I mean, he can by all means go for the face. 11 HP left right now on Attoken, and he's in a tough spot right now. I mean, just looking at his hand, he does have the Ancient of Lore, but even then, if he does play it, it's just gonna, I mean, it will help in a sense with the card draw, but...
He could heal for 5.
I mean, he could heal for 5 as well. He does have double Ancients of Lore right now. He does even have the Big Game Hunter, but none of the cards coming out from Crazerk is actually above that 7 damage, or at least at the 7 damage mark. So that's actually hurting him a lot. He also has the Blood Mage Stanislaus, but he doesn't have a spell to kind of combo with what that Wild Pyromancer. So he's in a really tough spot. He actually does top deck a Wrath here.
That will help him very well.
Yeah, I mean, he can. Yeah, he's gonna play the Wild Pyromancer just for that added extra. I mean, he can even play the, but. Okay, that's the thing I wanted to know. The Blood Mage doesn't affect the Wild Pyromancer with with the effect, right? So
sadly, no.
Yeah, so sadly here, he's gonna have to hope to God that he's gonna be able to deal enough damage. The Wrath right now is gonna do, how much damage is that, by the way?
4 damage.
Yeah, 4 damage. We have that added 1 damage. He's actually gonna do 2 and draw a card. So gonna try to aim down the. He does top deck a Sunwalker. Unfortunately, not enough mana. He does at least have that trigger effect from the Wild Pyromancer. Gonna kill off the minion there. Gonna use his hero power, in fact, and it seems like he wants to trade off. Yeah, he's gonna go ahead and trade off. Out comes the kill. He's gonna take 4 damage to the face because of the 1 armor. He's already prepared for the worst. Calling for the Well Blades. I mean, Look at that. Oh no, just to make it even worse, he has double Iron Dwarfs. Yep, that's probably the end of him. He doesn't even need that power overwhelming. He might actually just do it. Yep, he's gonna do it. And of all creatures, the Blood Imp. Death to the Blood Imp, guys. Concede vote comes out. That's gonna be the first game going to Crazerk there. Well played by both players.
Well played indeed.
Well played indeed. I mean, that was actually pretty interesting to see. I gotta say, that was a pretty fast match, actually. It went really back and forth. Didn't really give us enough time to talk about it, but it seems we are, in fact, gonna jump into the second game right away. I mean, this is just the way that it works over here in this tournament, the way that we're doing it, the style that it's gonna be played. In fact, it's gonna be a Warlock mirror matchup. Crazerk and Attoken going at it. Let's take a quick look at the starting hands. What can you tell us about this starting hand from both these players here?
Well, Attoken actually has. Well, wow.
He actually mulliganed a lot. So what do you think about that? I think that was.
I didn't expect him to mulligan the Flame Imp, to be honest. Since Blood Imp and Flame Imp is one of the strongest starting hand a Warlock can have.
Yeah.
Whereas Crazerk, Void Walker might not be such a bad start.
Yep.
Since Attoken already mulligan the Flame Imp, nothing much can kill it. But no, he's gonna mulligan it, and he's gonna top deck a Blood Imp.
Yeah, I mean, a Blood Imp is pretty good in this kind of situation, I guess. I mean, he does have that Argent Squire as well.
Oh,
in
there
fact,
we go.
top decks the Flame Imp here, so by all means, he could probably just play that.
Flame Imp would be the best choice here.
Yeah, he's gonna deal about 3 damage to his own self. Is he gonna throw it? Yep, he's just gonna go ahead and throw it out there. There is that Soulfire in the Adventure. I don't think that. I don't know. Do you think it's? I mean, it's a little bit risky in that kind of sense, but he's just gonna go ahead with the taunt on top of the Blood Imp. Oh no, actually, I thought it was a taunt. My bad. He actually coins into a Priestess and a Blood Imp, which is gonna trade effectively here against the Blood Imp, and I'm pretty sure he just want to keep that creature on the board because that Priestess is always gonna buff it up a lot more. But out comes the Blood Imp, which means by all means he's gonna be able to effectively trade here. Yep, it's not gonna lose his Flame Imp at all. That's a 3/3 still. In fact, gonna throw down the Divine Shield, Argent Squire. I mean, I wonder what the hell she did to deserve that bubble, man. It's probably something in the past, but yeah. Anyways, enough of that. It seems like the Void Walker, the Golden Void Walker, by the way, is going to be thrown out here on top of another Mirror Argent Squire. Yep. So Argent Squire for Argent Squire. There is that taunt on the board to work with. He's probably just going to. I mean, he can effectively trade here. He's going to lose the Flame Imp anyway if he doesn't attack, because he does have the Argent Squire on the hand. So
yes, definitely.
What do you think Crazerk is going to do? I mean, he does have the Shattered Sun available, so he by all means can actually use that for his Blood Imp and still keep the Divine Shield on his Argent Squire.
He will definitely buff up the Divine, buff up the Blood Imp, trade with the Void Walker, and then take off the bubble.
Alright.
Yep. So it won't die for free.
Yep.
That's one of the best play. But yes, keep the Blood Imp stealth, please.
Yeah, so he's going to go ahead and end turn here, I believe. I'm pretty sure he's not going to go for that Blood Imp. Of course, the Blood Imp on the end of Attoken has that added extra HP because of the Priestess early on. He actually gets his, he top decks his own Flame Imp there. The Archer Squire is going to trade with that other Flame Imp coming up from Crazerk, so that's just going to be effectively done there. That's a done deal for him. He does have a Leroy Jenkins in his hand right now, on top of a Soulfire and a Power Overwhelming. Now, that can actually be a pretty damn strong combo in its own right.
Definitely. That's 14 damage on his hand right there on turn 5.
Yeah, it's pretty insane, man. So, Crazerk, of course, by all means, he doesn't know what's going on right now. He does have a Mortal Coil that he just top decked over there, but it seems like he wants to go ahead and trade. He's thinking about it. He does have, of course, he does have the Shadow Bolt option here, but of course he tapped for that Mortal Coil, so he's not gonna have enough mana for the Shadow Bolt. Gonna actually trade the Shattered Sun and gonna hit face with the Argent Squire. Blood Imp still on the board, of course, but of course now he does have that board presence in the bank.
Well, I would have just attacked once with the Argent Squire and double Mortal Coil since it's already tapped. Before he tapped, Shadow Bolt would actually be a very good play there.
Yeah, that is definitely true.
To clear board and have a 3/3 on the board.
Yep. So looking at it now, though, we do have the Dark Iron Dwarf that was buffing the Argent Squire. It's a 3/2 now, man. That's a 1-drop. That's a 3/2.
Yep.
A lot of buffs happening due to that Blood Imp as well as the Dark Iron. He hits the face earlier on, and now at the turn of Attoken, man, like he does have the Abusive Sergeant, but he has double Blood Imps. What is he really gonna do? I mean, he can actually try to trade the Blood Imp here if he wants, but I mean, he knows that he can't really waste that right now. He's gonna go for the what is this called again? The Harvest Golem play here, and just gonna end his turn after a life tap. Shadow Flame actually gets top deck here. Now, why don't you talk a little bit about Shadow Flame?
Well, Shadow Flame is a 4 mana cost that requires you to sacrifice a minion of yourself, a friendly minion.
Right.
Once you do, the minion's attack will be the damage will be dealt across the enemy's board.
Right.
Not to the enemy hero though, just the minions.
Yeah. He actually does tap into a top deck Defender of Argus, which by all means he can actually throw out here as well, and buff up the Argent. I don't know, in this kind of situation, do you think he should just clear the board with a Shadow Flame? Because I mean, those Blood Imps can actually get pretty annoying later on if he gets bigger cards. But looking at the hand right now, Attoken, it doesn't seem like he does have that. But of course, we know that Crazerk doesn't really know that. He's going to go ahead with the play with the Shadow Flame, going to effectively trade 2 mobs there. In fact, he might even kill off the Harvest Golem. Nope, he's just going to go for face. He knows that he's in a good spot. 13 HP on Attoken, man.
That's a big questionable play for me, to be honest, because there's actually no need to kill off the double blood aim, although it is very tempting to kill off the double blood aim. But Argent Defender thing there, and just go for face will be a better play, since the Golem itself doesn't kill you, any of your monsters, any of your minions, after getting buffed by Argent Defender.
Yeah, and it does look like it's going to hurt him a lot in the end. Look at that, the sudden board advantage going over to Attoken because of the double Abusive Sergeant. I do believe he did top deck that and was able to buff up his Harvest Golem, doing a lot of damage right now. Remember, he still has that 14 combo on the board, and in fact he even has a Dark Iron Dwarf to even make that into a 16 damage, so that's pretty damn insane. Out comes the Mortal Coil, of course, for more added card draw. Out comes the Shattered Sun, but of course no other minions on the board over here. I mean, by all means he can actually play the Defender, but I mean, what do you think? Would it be better to throw the Shattered Sun before the Defender?
Yes, definitely, but
yeah,
still, even if you drop the Shattered Sun and Defender, it doesn't do much to the board.
Yep.
You
So,
can trade efficiently for all of them, yes. Modeling for that would be the best play.
do you think he in fact should just throw out that Blood Imp to kill off the 2-1, or just keep it? Just keep it, right?
Blood Imp has way too much value to be wasted like that way.
Yeah, as we see here, Shattered Sun is in fact going to make its way on the board and just buff up the Blood Imp, making sure that, get it out of... I mean, just looking at the deck from Attoken, I don't think he does have any Hellfire in his deck currently, yeah. So there is no added extra board clear there. He does top deck a Flame Imp. He's going to use the Blood Imp actually to attack face. Pretty questionable, I guess you could say.
Well, he's in a very desperate situation whereby he wants the 2-1 to trade for the Blood Imp. And so that his Shattered Sun can remain a very strong presence on the board.
I guess that's also very true. But of course, there's the Knife Juggler though, and out comes a buff. And are we going to see the RNG here in favor? Yep, it's going to hit the Blood Imp. But either way, he still needs to trade. Out comes the kill onto the Shattered Sun because of that Dark Iron Dwarf buff onto the Argent Square there. So it's really working in favor. But out comes the kill. Double power overwhelming. The well place is going to be called out. Crazerk with a 12-10 on the board, minus 3 HP. That's a lot of damage being dealt to Attoken.
Top deck Stone, baby.
Yeah, that was just really insane. Yeah, like you said, man, this ain't Hearthstone. This is top deck Stone right here at its finest. That double player, that was actually pretty good. And I think that's gonna mean a secure win for Crazerk, as he did get 2 wins, I believe, against Attoken. So that's gonna boost him up in the current stages so far. So I think that's probably gonna be the game to cover here in this round 1, I guess you could say, of this bracket A. So we're gonna probably be moving on to bracket number B, and that is probably gonna be in a couple of minutes or so, depending on how things are gonna be set up. There is a lot of things to take into account. Group B, we're not too sure who is actually gonna be in over there. So we're gonna just go ahead and take a little break here, and we'll be right back with you guys.